Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Beaut Tea Told. It's your girl Britt, and yes, yet again, I have another great, phenomenal guest with me today, and we got a really hot, juicy topic, so you don't want to miss it. So, my good friend Larry from Manic Vanity, and Larry, tell the people about yourself, about the business, and then I'm gonna tell y'all about what I'm sporting.
Thank you. Yes, I am the owner, CEO of Manic Vanity Clothing. I've been in business since 2011. Um, been in stores in Cleveland, Mentor, and on the West Side, and also in Las Vegas. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be a guest.
Yeah.
And I love that jacket you got on.
Well, thank you. And guys, this is my newest addition, and I say I love this. I can't wait to wear this tomorrow to an event. We're having Mr. David Shands here in Cleveland, and I'm going to be rocking proudly my merchandise thanks to Larry. So thank you for this beautiful Beaut Tea Told varsity jacket. Now, y'all, if y'all gonna hit me up for this, I'm gonna have to connect you with my guy, and we all go from there, okay? Because this is exclusively just for me. All right.
And you definitely got to show them the back.
Oh yes, yes. Let me stand up so y'all can be able to see the back. Let me move my braids so y'all can really see the full vision and picture. Y'all
all
see
the details.
Yes, he did a fabulous job getting me together, y'all. So hit my guy up. I'm gonna have his information below, so that way you'll be able to contact him. Whether it's, something customized that you want, or if you see something that you really like on the website, hit him up. He's got all of what you're looking for and then some. So Larry, so thank you for coming. And without further ado, guys, our juicy hot topic is dating intelligence. Yes, because a lot of us are just missing the mark when it comes to dating. And I think that a lot of times you can pick up some things earlier on as you're collecting data. And sometimes it goes right over the head for some of us. So me and Larry are going to help y'all out today. And like I said, hopefully we can promote some necessary changes to the game, okay? So Larry, so basically I know that you guys remember when this was, hitting the mainstreams. What do you bring to the table? And for some, it was a very offensive statement. For some, it was a complete cutoff. For some, they just didn't quite understand it. And even for me, I had to take a step back and really reevaluate that question. What do you bring to the table? Because when you really think about it in more of a deeper dive, there should be, the male and female, there is something that each of you should uniquely be bringing to the table to be able to produce greater and better things. So me and Larry were talking about that off camera. So, what's your take on what do you bring to the table?
Well, like we said, first off, let's start by saying this. One is mathematics. I'm into math. I'm into numbers. 1 + 1 = 2.
That's
so
right.
If you have two people involved, two's supposed to bring more to the table than what that one was. The purpose of having a mate, meaning that not only just being compatibility, is being how can we work together and accomplishing a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Which is number one rule in life for us human beings is survival.
That's right.
So, that was my thing. I think the part about what a lot of people get misconstrued and uncomfortable with the wording of what do you bring to the table? That makes things uncomfortable.
It does.
And when you get uncomfortable, a lot of people get the sweat and the hands get clammy, and you know what I'm saying, the underarms and stuff get the itching and all type of stuff because you just put them in an uncomfortable spot and put them in a place where like, wow, what you mean what I got?
Yeah,
right. First thing they'll think is like, what you mean what I got? What you got? And they get defensive. They get on the defensive instead of being offensive, instead of understanding that these words have no power. It's just about like, hey, how can we come together and take what you got, take what I got, and put it in a pot and cook it and get some good gumbo?
All right now. Chef Larry in the building right now. You better tell him. That is true. A lot of times, instead of you listening to understand, you're listening to respond quickly. So you're right. It does become more of a defense rather than really letting that sink in so you can get better understanding of what it is. Because again, you do want to multiply, to add and create
on, right?
Greater.
You want to build. The whole purpose is to build.
That's right.
And that's what people don't realize. And what the dating IQ come in is about why I think dating IQ is, which we'll get back, get more into it, is what wavelength and frequency are you on? What understanding of in the mind that we're on? Because at a certain point in life and phases of life, that we go from teenage, our beginning dating time was teenagers to young adults to adults, into older, wiser people, we go in phase of dating because some people might be superficial reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You look good.
Right.
He's popular. She's popular. She was a top sports star or athlete. Body. He had the car. He had the sounds and the rims. Jewelry. You know, a thing nowadays is the likes and popularity from the social media following.
That's so right.
These things, in my opinion, doesn't hold length. Don't hold weight. They don't no longevity into that because as we get older, certain things fade. Certain things you get out, and that's why, in my opinion, intelligence comes to a play, and that's what's going to sustain longevity when we get older and wrinkly. You know what I'm saying? You ain't the hottest person no more, or you might need might need to get some body augmentation, or whatever the case may be. But something's going to sustain why I need to be, why I'm here.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I'm telling you that it does take you getting older to realize that it needs to be beyond just a superficial. Because like you said, it should be beyond looks. Looks, of course, they play a part, but like you said, it shouldn't be as much weight as the intelligence of a person. Again, this is data that you're, collecting at an earlier time frame. So that way, a lot of times you can avoid some of the heartache and pain that you're going through if you just take the time to really get to ask the right questions, do the right research and digging, to really find out this person is the right fit for you or not. So that makes sense, y'all.
But I guess the good question is, how did you know what is a person's intelligence? How do you know? Well, when does it start that that you did develop the instinct to say, hey, how does this person think? How smart is this person? Or do we need to be this smart? Or is he dumb? Or his mindset is not where I want to be, or what's growth? Or I see where does the age, or where does time? I know for men and women, that's the thing. It's different. I don't know about what you think for as you as a woman, and me as a man, it's come time because obviously, some men are good thinkers, but some men it takes some time to develop that intelligence and that mental capacity to know, hey, growth is required in order for me to win down the line.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I even wrote it down, y'all, because yes, the IQ of the person, where is their head at? Because that is very important. Because for me, and again, this was me, having been previously married, been out the game for quite some time. When it was time for me to get back into the dating scene, a lot had transpired. I went from marrying in my 20s to now I'm, more in my 30s and more in my prime 30s at that. So it just really, your mindset is different. So where is your head at? So I put your dreams and ambitions, because for a person that is just comfortable or content with where they're at, that tells me a lot too. So again, this is something that I can kind of gather even just from the first date, because again, you don't have to get too personal, but what are some things that you would like to achieve in your life? If they have nothing to tell you, or if they're saying like, I don't know.
So how do you say you get on that conversation on the first date? How does that go into determining?
I guess once you get past some of the surface things, hey, it was nice meeting you, blah, blah, blah. And then you get to knowing about their profession, like what it is that they do. And I think that's a great segue into, so tell me, is this something that you see yourself doing lifelong, or do you have other ambitions and dreams and goals that you'd like to achieve?
That sounds good. That sounds good, but most guys gonna be like, well, I know a guy. I mean, I'm speaking for a guy. He's not gonna be talking about so what you plan on your next 5-year plan?
That's true.
But see, that's could be
that's true
for someone. That could be a point of reference to say, hey, they probably never had a 5-year plan.
Yeah,
they're not even talking about that.
That's true.
He might be like, damn, girl, you so fine. I'm just thinking about when we'll get to the next date.
That's true. That's true.
So how do you, as a woman or as a man, how do we get to the point that you're worried about how they thinking? Do you wait till after for men, you guys? Do you wait till like you had a couple nights at the bar? Because most guys, we taking you out, we dinner, we wait till after we probably had sex, and now we worry. Either we ain't worried or we ain't worried, but then when it comes a part when it becomes really more worried when you got somebody pregnant. Yeah. Now you like, now you find out like, oh damn, I'm dealing with her and she ain't, my kids ain't going this way, blah blah blah. Men don't. In my experience, just going off of guys I've seen, men has a slower part of recognizing what's good for their future and then what's good for their body. I mean, or their lustful spirit.
Right. Okay.
And that could be detrimental for a man navigating through life. And this is why the baby mamas become multiple, and this is why we find ourselves in predicaments, because we find later we ain't thinking about the ideology of this woman's mind.
Wow.
We ain't recognizing. All we know is how she make us feel good.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking for men. I don't know how the women think. I
appreciate that.
And we again, like I said, you can't build with nothing that don't want to build.
Right.
And you can't wait to get late to after you find you want to the sex part plays a part. I mean, obviously, I also understand my front and say that sex doesn't matter. But for me, I just know that we wait. I don't know how women do it. Women, I know we wait after those factors to worry about the other things when
the more long-term things.
And when that should be kind of in a nutshell. Before you, as a man, we should kind of put some discipline in there. Because again, if I'm gonna lay with her, what I'm saying, how you gotta have a thing in your mind. How long you take this place? Now again, a woman gonna tell herself what she's supposed to be, or what she's supposed to play in your life either. Because she might only have a 6-month plan with you, be a season, or her mind might supposed to elevate, vice versa, and that now you see a long-term situation. Yeah. And this is how we don't find out in the dating game about that, because right now we on the superficial. She look good.
Yep,
she look good.
But maybe that's where it needs to change. Maybe so I will say, thanks to social media, a lot of females have that city girl mentality, is what I like to call it. Yeah. And it's sad, but it's true, because a lot of these, females are looking to see, what can this guy do for me? What, how much, what's his net worth? What can he, what trips can he take me on? What purse can he buy? And things like that. They're selfishly just thinking of themselves and what this person can do for them versus how can they be of help to one another. So to be honest, a lot of the males have to kind of deal with and battle with. But for the good women out there, because there are good men out there, there are good women out there that have their head on the right way. So where's that head at? It should be on thinking more, especially if you're intentionally dating, it should be more long term. It should be past the looks. It should be past the cars and the money and stuff like that. And it should be, how can we create that together and create more so it's generational? And
also, right, and those things that you just said can be lost. The money, the cars can be lost. How do you survive that? Because then now, if I can't buy you those bags or do those trips and all that, do you really care for me? Do you really want to be with me? Do you really want to go through this struggle? I'm in a down period and help me get it back up so I can become the man or be the man that I was to you or for you?
Wow.
Do you want to go through that struggle? You know what I'm saying? Or me, do I love your mind enough to know that one day your butt might get flat, or your boobs might get long, and you know what I'm saying?
No, for real.
You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? But your mind is so beautiful. I'm still in love with following what you're thinking and the plans and the goals we are setting and achieving. It makes it fun while we're doing still taking trips, or whether we taking trips or not.
That's
right. Or we're in the house watching something, or even sitting down reading a book together.
Oh my gosh. And I think that's another thing that we're missing. You see the glitz and glamours of this should be this, and vacations and all that. But what about just the sit downs and getting to, like you said, just Netflix and chilling, or just sitting down, just catching up with one another, because people change, over time. So catching up with one another to make sure that you guys are still connected. You should steadily be studying your person, way beyond dating, way beyond relational, even into marriage. You should still be studying your person. You should have, it should be to the point you got PhD in it.
I agree. Because again, that's your partner. It's supposed to be your partner, and if it's supposed to be a life partner, you are invested in that. You're invested in that situation, because again, their growth is supposed to add on to your growth.
That's right.
And if you see me fall down, I'm supposed to pick you up and be one anchor, so we both can lift each other up. We just going forward. And it's gonna be some times where life challenges us. That is, that's why I said when we talk about bringing to the table, it's kind of naive to say for people to be kind of ignorant to say the word about the table. It's not about the table. Because we could be, if there is no table, we should be able to create a table. When the table get burnt up and cooked, we can create another one. Because we have certain things that beyond the looks and the outer interior intelligence that we are able to, I'll evolve as time evolves. Because again, one thing we show, time don't wait for nobody. And things are changing and evolving fast. And if I can't have a partner with me that going to be able to adapt to these changes, we're going to be set back. And nobody don't want to be poor.
That's good. That's true. So, you're right. That's not the dream. That's not the dream.
You know what I'm saying? So I need to know, because again, you could have like a lot of girls who fell for the PPP baller. You know what I'm saying? You know, so a lot of people fell for that victim, and they was doing good, buying all this. Then the bottom out, they don't know what to do, and they all that. You know what I'm saying? All that capital went out the window now.
What do you have?
They don't have no intelligence in how do I weather a storm. So that as a man, that's back to leadership. It ain't about the money or what he got. It's about the mental he got. Because again, if he lost a bag, he should be able to get another one.
Man, if I had a mic, drop the mic right there. That's it. Because like you said, to bring it to the table, it doesn't have to be finances. The mindset can do amazing wonders for what your future can potentially be. Because like you said, when that does, diminish, when you ran out of money, how can you pivot? So, Larry, all right. I knew this was gonna be good.
Definitely how you pivot.
I know it's gonna be like good.
How do you pivot? Definitely. That's what it's about, pivoting and play. You know what I'm saying? What's the next play? You gotta play. That's definitely. Because it's the next play. Because again, we came back to the moment with our intelligence. We know, okay, babe, don't get too comfortable.
That's right.
Don't get too comfortable.
That's right.
Because then we got to pick it up because again, the bills coming, inflation coming.
Yep.
All these things are coming that's a matter in life that we got to overcome these obstacles. Because again, it's turned to a point. If I don't know people, and this is where intelligence comes in. Because again, most people, if you're dating somebody that's want to party and bull crap, and I ain't knocking that, because again, I party and bull crap. I'm quite sure you have. But and it's all about balance. And nothing wrong with partying and bullshitting. But the point is, you have to be aware in the conscious of subconscious. A subconscious mind tells you that you have to be aware. So if you're aware of what your surroundings is, you see the world is changing, but yet you feeling to ignore it. Your intelligence is not in the right place, and that's going to hurt me as your partner because you're not paying attention that. Oh, you just want to be entertained. You want to watch the gossip stuff and all that. Why are you seeing we at war and inflation and Bitcoin and all these things that's changing our shape and our future? Right. And I'm quite sure that we have family that also involves our future before we bring us to the table. What are we doing?
That's right.
And that's why it's important. Now, I'm saying again, if I have a mind that just want to get my picket fit, my white picket fits, meaning my own home, my family there, and I just want to go to work every day and come home and have me a beer, and that's not knocking that person.
Yeah.
But that's when you find that person that matches that identity, and that's how you have. That's what what you're talking about, the IQ level. Everybody's not going to have the same type of IQ level. Everybody's not going to be the same thing, as we know. That's why a lot of people from high school to working jobs, friends change the squad because everybody's not the same tribe.
They're not the same person.
But you have to find your tribe. So I'm not knocking that the person that your IQ level is. If you into whatever you might not just be into you want to have a good time and that's not you don't like just say you don't like computers.
Right. You
go find somebody like sports.
Yeah.
And that's how intelligence. So you all have the same conversation. So therefore, when everything falls apart, you have a foundational piece to grow on.
That's right.
And that's where the mental comes in at. We on the same page. We might not be. We might have the idea of just being Catholic. Just as an example. Example of Catholics and just blue collar workers.
Right.
A Catholic and a blue collar worker shouldn't be talking about dating a Muslim who thinks about polygamy, three wives, and they want to be an entrepreneur at the same time.
Right.
I'm just using that.
Those
are in two different wavelengths. So that's what when we're talking about dating IQ. We want to be clear that we're talking about your mind state should match the person's mind state.
That's it. And that's where, and like you said, it's okay if that person is content with where they're at. But you're right. Then there's a certain person that will fit, that same, mindset or thinking like, yeah, I'm good where I'm at. I don't really have anything else, that I want to achieve or never thought about. Or sometimes it could be a person that kind of sparks that interest. So it's not always like a definitive no, but you do need to know if that's even something that they even want to do. Is that something they want to pursue? Right.
That makes sense because you might say some people have intelligence that's unlocked. So so a person that might be of a little more higher intelligence, you could be teaching them something,
right?
But the willing to learn supersedes somebody that just want to be stuck in the same place. So there's growth in there. Right. So you don't have to necessarily be on the same, like you're saying. Basically, what you're saying is you don't necessarily be on the same IQ wavelength, but the yearning for knowledge will have you extended to that where that person at, or vice versa. They're no different than a man. No different than as I came up in the streets. So there's a lot of guys that didn't know about lot of business at Netflix, and they or intelligence part, and they really just outside. They may have dropped out of school early, and they just hustling. But they met a girl who knew how to take that money, and she ascended him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, he didn't have IQ, but they was able to meet because he didn't want to stay where he was at.
That part, you gotta have a desire though to want
the will.
To do better.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you want to do better. That's so that can in your relationship. I believe that can. That's where the the IQ matters, but it has a I was you say that gray area or a little.
I would say that's an exception to the rule for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that where you can say, well, I'm not there, but I want to get there. And I'm willing to do what it takes to get there because I want to be that person for you.
Yeah, right.
And I want to show you that.
That's right.
It's a difference now. Again.
Yeah.
Show beats the tell.
That's right. You're right. And words, that means kind of nothing.
Nothing.
It's the action. Because this person been saying that for quite some time, then you know that they wasn't really as like wanted as you thought. You know what I mean? And that's
when you have to make.
They talk. Ooh, yeah. Them game talkers. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
Definitely. That's why I say my number one principle: know your personnel. That way you can separate expectation from disappointment.
Okay, Larry, coming through with the quotes and everything. I hope y'all is taking notes. Drop something in the comments, y'all. If y'all, you hearing some things. This is fire. Throw some emojis in there. Let us know that y'all hear us now, because again, this is some things that these are critical to being able to find the person you look for, especially if you are intentionally dating. Now, if you're just casually dating, then okay, so he's just on whatever you into, whatever you like. But for my ones that's serious about this, that want to be able to create a wholesome family, that want to create wholesome wealth, who want to create generational wealth, who wants to be able to elevate to new heights, this is what you need to get, some structure in how you're dating. So very key.
So when did you start thinking about dating intelligence?
Ooh, goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna be real. So when I got divorced, literally a month later, I met this guy, and he was like really, just wanted to shoot a shot. And I felt like it was a little early, but I'm like, okay, I guess I could see where this goes. And I guess that's when I got to really figure out that in dating, you definitely got to beware, because they game talkers. They talk a good game. They have a good mask on. They pretty much emulate everything that you're saying. Like, especially if you've given them the blueprint, beauties. Let's slow down on giving people all of your list. Let's leave some mystery to it, so that way they can meet those expectations without realizing
or overreach, because they don't know some things about you, but they want to try to enhance the situation because they're eager to know. So you give them, like say you get a blueprint, like you said, they're gonna follow the blueprint. It's simple. You give them a blueprint,
they're gonna cheat. They're gonna
use it to their advantage. But if you want to oversee, succeed, or even just add your blueprint to the mix, you would do things that, hey, I don't know if she likes this, but then let me do this, let me try this. And that's what, that's where the thoughtfulness comes in.
That's right. You're right. That's where the consideration comes to see if they really are about you or not, So, but, finding out about that gentleman, seeing some of the red. So I'll say after some time, what I started to realize is that he had a little bit of like anger issues. And it wasn't towards me, but it was a situation where there was like this lady, she was being really rude to me, bartender wise. We were at a bowling alley, and I was just asking for some water, and I don't know why, maybe because she wasn't gonna get paid for giving me water, I guess. But she she got really like tissy, and he picked up on it, and I kind of saw that it escalated fast, and I'm like, well, wait, like, hold on, it's not that serious. And maybe it could have been just the really like likeness for me of maybe why he was as aggressive. But then I started to see it later on for myself, of just kind of like the dominance and everything. So again, it helped me to really realize what am I looking for? Because is this going to be someone that suits me? Because I'm very, soft spoken. I'm very, passive. And aggression is not really what I'm keen on. I don't like all this "come here, girl" and all this type of stuff. Like, just, I don't know. I just like the softer side of things. No, I don't want a soft dude, but I just don't.
Yeah, I understand.
But it just helped me to realize where, like, wow, if I'm going to really be into this dating thing, I need to figure out what I'm really looking for and what qualities that I really am going to be interested in. You know what I mean? Because this, I knew for me, my upbringing is the church. Baptist church, born and raised. And for me, the top of the list is got to be a man of God. So that's number one on my list. That's number one. And what I noticed with this particular gentleman, when I started doing my little bit more research, when I started getting on YouTube University and started, really finding out what it is that I want for myself.
Oh, you can find that on YouTube University?
Yeah, well, depending on who you follow now. You got to be careful. Use discernment of who you following. Like I was looking at this video, R.C. Blake's, Bishop R.C. Blake's, and he talked about that we should have some non-negotiables. I never even thought about that. Like, oh, what are my non-negotiables?
Oh.
I got to, listening more into the video.
YouTube, y'all. YouTube.
Yeah, I'm telling you, YouTube be changing the game. That's probably how y'all found me, Share me.
YouTube, y'all.
Yeah, YouTube be where it's at. And it really made me realize, he was like, if a guy, he uses as an example, this is how I just knew. If a guy says that he is, he's very much into God, he's in tune with God, then your follow-up question should be, what's your favorite scripture? And I'll never forget when I jotted that on my notepad and I had asked him at a later time about it, because he told me he kept his Bible by his nightstand and all that type of stuff. Yes, literally. And when I asked him his favorite scripture, he had not one to give me, not even one to pull out of the Bible, grab the Bible and look real quick. We were over the phone, so it's not like I could see him grabbing it. He had nothing. So for me, you guys, we have to pay attention to their actions. We have to pay attention. It's got to be more than words. He was speaking good, like, oh yeah, I love the Lord. This and this, and not one scripture, not even Jesus wept.
Well, I'm be honest, this me as a guy, and I like to say I'm a man of God. But I don't have a favorite scripture. You don't have a favorite scripture? I have a favorite prayer.
Okay, and that's fair. Okay. I like the way you counter that.
Yeah, I'm saying I know guys can be still. I just speaking up for guys like me, and we have a different spiritual realm. I wouldn't consider myself a Christian. Okay, but I have a Christian background. I started a Christian upbringing. But I more or less went over to start understanding what the Islam is, and also 5%. So I would say I'm just a spiritual guy that has a basis of all of the pieces of.
That's fair.
Because why I went to Islam is because I started seeing. I think my entrepreneurial spirit pushed me that way, because I realized coming up when I was younger, I seen these guys that always used to be outside with clean bow ties and selling pies. It was hustling, but yet you used to crack jokes on them. And as being a Christian, because we was Christians. Yep. So, but not understanding that was the principles of sticking together in unity. That's the only thing. I'm not trying to condemn Christianity. I love my Christian. I learn a lot of things, but Christianity, through Christian, as you see it overall in the Black community, it kind of like dissipated, and it wasn't no unity, because again, everybody want to have their own church, Pentecostal, blah blah blah. Whereas Islam is only one Islam, and these men sticking together, so that brought forth unity. I desire as a man of unity. I come from a place where I grew up with guys, and we didn't have a lot of fathers, and so we had to teach each other. So that unity, so that principle. And one thing I liked about the Nation of Islam is teaches principle. Okay. Teaches principle and discipline. Okay. And then we need that. And so again, like my Christian background, I take excerpts of that. I take some of that, and I use it all. And I know there's without God's number one in your life, you have to have God, because then I believe faith. This is why we all over the place right now. Come on. That faith is your foundation. So when stuff get wrong, we run back to that. That's it. God, I need you. God, I want to be. I want to be obedient, because I know in your way, whatever way where you choose to worship Him, it's the way that's going to get you where you need to go. Correct. That's the foundation. So with that in your relationship, this is your light. This is your moral compass. This keep you grounded. Without it, I'm a firm believer, and I'm not speaking again. I'm speaking from Black men that maybe don't even know God. Because some guys, that's another problem when you're dating. How do you know what your relationship is with God or higher power anyway? And if you don't acknowledge that, maybe you might need a woman that show you that. Again, this goes back to what we say about dating IQ and finding your person, because she might need to enlighten you. But you're not being honest. You put on that face, oh yeah, I'm a God. She called out. She started seeing the sign. You're not showing her. That makes her unbelieve in your true leadership skills. You can't lead me, because you won't know what you is, and you playing games. And you're not honest. So that also taught me that you're not being honest. And that's a big, huge factor in any type of relationship, whether it be a business, whether it be relational. Honesty is key, because, I mean, without that, where are your morals and values at? If you could tell the story about that, what
what won't you,
Right.
you know, lie about? So yeah, I mean, definitely, and I like that. Like you said, if you just be upfront and honest
and say, hey,
like,
I don't have a relationship with God,
right,
but I'm looking for that.
Right,
Is it okay for you to point me in that direction?
Yeah.
Because I'm confused. I never grew up, or and that's what a conversation with a woman. She ain't doing her homework, and you just say, hey, would you, if you believe in God? Oh yeah, baby, yeah, I do. Alhamdulillah, or yes, give me Timothy, thou shalt not kill. 10 commandments. Timothy, thou shalt not kill. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're faking.
Just to make it.
And not knowing that, hey, if you like her that much,
yeah,
you're willing to put in the work and say, hey, I'm not even a man. I don't have no way of closeness to God, but I'm seeking to get there because I know God is, Jesus Christ is my Savior,
right,
or whatever,
right.
You want to be led in the right direction, and that's where the conversation comes, because again, then they start talking about denominations, what religion, you Buddhist, Judaism,
right,
all that, and then as you feel, can that work? Because I don't know how you feel about that. I think God's is the purpose, no matter how you choose to represent. You know what I'm saying? Then you start, when religion coming to conversation, then you start going into details about, okay, well, how you feel this view, vice versa, because you don't want to put no one's way they worship God,
of course not,
to interfere or use it as a power piece of the relationship. It has to have balance, and then once you find out that you don't have you can't spiritually grow together, that's a red flag too.
Yeah, that could,
because you might feel like this, right?
On the person.
I agree.
That's good. I'm telling y'all, it's a lot to it, and it comes from you asking the right questions. Really seeing if what they're saying is matching with their actions, and that's male or female.
Yeah,
there's females that can be putting on a good game too. There's some game talking beauties out here,
Definitely talking about she gonna oh, you an entrepreneur, I could come in and help you do this, and then they should know she only show up when it's time to go have some fun, when to spend the money,
That's it.
And that could be a deal breaker, or it might not, because some guys, I believe in the men do supposed to provide, right? But then if you're trying to provide a lifestyle that's going to cripple you while trying to attain to her, what is we really doing? Because again, if you don't see that the output comes to a point where you just had a loss, or the well that ran dry, and she decided now her energy starting to change, right? Then
was the intentions pure? So it goes back to, were their intentions pure? Was it really for you, or was it for what you could do for them?
And I like to say about the God part, that God gonna get that foundation. If she believes in God, she ain't trying to come play no games. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's for fellas. I'm always gonna vote for the God fearing woman. Yeah, they provide value, in my opinion. Okay, amen to that. A God fearing woman provides value.
That's right. And vice versa, the God fearing man, because like you said, when the female, when I might be down and out, that man can be able to speak life into me. You know what I mean, and bring me back up, afloat. And now we back in this. You know what I mean? I'm back stronger and better than ever. So we help each other. So it goes back to even the beginning of our conversation. We should be making each other better. Where one is weak, the other person is strong, and we can be able to pull each other up. So again, you should be dating with intent of how can you weather, what is it, the 4 seasons? I think I want to say it's Gary Chapman, but how can you weather the storms? Everything's not going to be a sunshining summer day. Some are going to be some winter harsh days,
gloomy rain, storms,
thunderstorms. Come on now, it ain't going to be always
a tornado.
That's right. Yeah, for real. I mean, these seasons be changing, and they don't know what you're going to get, especially here in Cleveland.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
Get all 4 seasons in one day if you ain't careful. So just being able to, like I said, make sure that, actions are matching the words, that they're really about that action. I told you guys that before. So I think we've been pinpointing a lot of things. I like this one too, though, Larry. What lessons in life have you learned? Because this will also help you to find out if there's some unhealed traumas, if there's some repeated relations. So your relationships, if they keep failing,
repeated offenses.
Yeah, repeated offenses. I like that.
Repeated offenses.
That's right. At some point or another, you got to take accountability. Like, maybe it's me.
Yeah, exactly.
What could I do differently?
And then go back to the honesty. If you have a problem that they ain't checked your trauma, that you ain't put to the table or said to the table, how do you know to fix it? Now she getting frustrated, or he getting frustrated that you didn't put out that you've been you may have been abused and you don't want to communicate. So every time you get into a situation, you clam up and go in the other room.
Yep.
And certain amount now he's going out. I want to get a drink.
Yep.
Now he might have a history of alcoholism, and now y'all just that divided y'all and put on top of compound on that issue becomes get worse.
It does.
I agree. You have to see the repeat offenses because again, that's back to knowing who you're dealing with. Because if you know, like I say, I say they don't have a resumes for nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't have resumes for like a job, like a job resume. You have a personal resume because it's going to show you the work you have done. And when a person keeps showing you that they did this, they're going to do it again. Yep. So that's up to you to hold yourself accountable to say, I'm going to choose to deal with it or I ain't. Because nobody can save you in that situation because again, you keep allowing them to do it. Wow. And this goes back to what I said about knowing your personnel, know who you're dealing with, because you're setting yourself up. You have this expectation for this person to do something different. They keep showing you the same, and it's disappointing you. When you now, but you see it, and only so many times you can hold yourself accountable and say, it's shame on one time, shame on me.
That's right. Fool me twice. That's right. Yeah.
And like I said, I'm gonna be lenient for you. Sometimes y'all need 3-4 times to get food and to get the message. But still, you know, black folks, you know, we are glutton for punishment. So sometimes we're gonna take it take about 4 or 5 hits against the wall to get the message. But 6, 7, 8, damn it. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? What is we doing?
What are we doing at this point?
It has to be a timeout.
It does. It's got to be a cutoff. You got to know when to cut it off. And like you said, at some point you need to get with yourself and have some self-reflection to be like, okay, these relationships, all of them seem to have a pattern. You should be able to pick up on those patterns.
You know what? I like that you said that because you see when you talk about lessons we learned in life, that is a lesson I learned from a relationship. A relationship I was dealing with a cancer. She told me, again, IQ matters like that. She told me you show a pattern, so I'm able to know what you're up to. I said a pattern. So you watch. I'm that ignorant ignorant and naive to know that I exude as a man. We are repeated by nature. We don't like when we don't go off our emotions, of our emotions. So that means we have a pattern. We have a movement. Where we gonna move? We're gonna move this way. More than likely, a man's gonna move the same way all the time because he's not emotionally driven. So he's not going moody and okay, my emotions allow me to do some things I never do. Most men gonna do the same old shit. So that's why she knew I was showing a pattern. Wow. Because I'm typically using my head logic. I'm gonna do the same thing over and over. So she could see the moments where I was lying or not lying or skin. I showed a pattern, and I learned that in my relationship. Patterns does matter. You know what I'm saying? And women pay attention more than men. So we watching when you think we ain't watching. That's why they be seeing you, they be sleeping, and be looking at you like, oh, yeah, I know how you was talking in your sleep saying about that.
You right, because we can be investigative now.
Definitely Blue's Clues.
Oh my gosh. It's a hidden talent of ours, what can I say? But it shouldn't have to be necessary too. Right. Because that also can be toxic if you just constantly
Definitely. And as a man, as you get older,
I had to outgrow that.
Oh my God. As a man, as you get, I mean, I can't speak for all men because again, no, I'm just men and women. We love at a certain point in our life. We love some type of toxicity.
Yeah.
You like, you know what I'm saying? Because that causes adventure. That causes the morphins, hormones to go. Right. You know, all that stuff. But as you get older, though, like, no, that's too much. That's stress. That's stress. Like, I ain't about to do all that. Hey, this is what it is. Well, right. I ain't about to do all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be watching my patterns because I'm gonna let you know what my pattern is in. Hey, this is what it's going to. This is what I need to work with. How can we move forward? How can we work with this? And if you don't see no change and you're not able to work with it, I understand. Yeah. We must move forward or move apart.
Right. That's right. And I'm telling you guys, that's a good point, Larry. I think that sometimes for a lot of us too, whether, with dating or even when you're in the relationship, you got to know when enough is enough. You got to know when to just cut it off. You got to, a lot of times when you're seeing that this person, this is what they are, this is who they are, typically they're not going to change. Okay?
Right. Especially as you get older. People, the hardest thing to do is change. And I don't, that's just human nature. That's not like, even with yourself, it's hard for you to, if you become accustomed to sleeping on the first floor, and you have to move, and now you're on the second floor. And that takes a change. You might sleep on the couch for a while, but until you decide, I don't want to sleep upstairs.
Yeah.
So that's just some petty and minute, but change.
Seriously, change sometimes scares people.
That's why people hold on to their same phone. They don't want to change the phone or phone numbers too. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that the people that they don't even mess with the people that had their phone number anyway.
That's true.
So we have to be, like you said, go back to intentional.
Yeah.
If you're intentional to your happiness, and you want your happiness, you gotta know when to Texas fold them, know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Ooh, I love that. That's one of my favorite phrases to say. Know when to hold them, know when to fold. You have to. And yes, it's painful. Yes, it's hurtful, but it's just as painful and hurtful, if not more, if you continue to stay in this and keep going through the same old rigmarole. Nothing's changing. So at one point or another, something has to change in order for there to be a change. It has to. Sometimes walking away is going to be the best for the both of you. Because again, at the end of the day, y'all probably aren't meant to be with each other, but if you continue to stay in that, how are you going to find who you're really meant to be with?
Right.
So
definitely.
Yeah, there's somebody for everybody now. And let's see here. So I'm going to say, going back to the dating intelligence, when it comes to time, I also like to find out from a person, what are you spending your time? What are you doing in your spare time? So when you have spare time, when you have those moments of where you can kind of just be to yourself, what is it that you're actually doing? You know, because I know for you, you showed me right before we started, filming, that you have books that you have books / goals that you're trying to achieve. And I think that that's awesome and amazing, because not a lot of people take time to even just pick up a book or pick up your phone and your book is right there where you can be able to read and grow.
That goes back to dating. Like I said, same topic that we started off with, dating IQ. Your time is valuable because we don't get it. We don't get another chance. Life is moving fast, so we got to be willing to evolve. And your time is precious, and what you feed no different than what you feed your body, what you feed your mind, what you consume. It's going to be a replication of what you show in your life. So if I'm out here in my spare time, I just want to go to the bar or party all the time, I'm quite sure that's what I'm going to get. I'm looking for entertainment, and some people date for entertainment. Some people feel like they may have lived a life in the house, or there was a relationship where they didn't travel, didn't much, so this person brought that into the fold, and they want to have good fun. So that's not to shame nobody who want to have fun, but for me personally, I've started off young, so I've done that. Right. So that don't tempt me. So right now I'm looking for growth and building. So when my time, I'm to be a better man for a better woman, I gotta keep continuing to build on top of what I've built. So I choose to read because again, I want to get better. If I want to be the man or the husband of somebody I feel like I want to have, so she should have, and we gonna have. So I gotta put my time in having, because as I'm an entrepreneur, so as my time is valuable, because for business is evolving and changing. So I have to be on a pivot to make the next play. That's what I'm talking about, pivot and play. That's right. I got to be on a pivot. So therefore, when I take my time out to be to myself, I need to be enhancing my role in my life as a man, and a black man is that to increasing my earning. Yeah, that's good. I ain't getting no younger, so I got to capitalize on my earning time. We all have a time in our life where we have the ability to earn as much as we can. Right. And so without knowledge, you can't, that's it. You can't earn a dollar. You know what I'm saying? Now it's gonna put you in a position to earn more money. That's right. So I like to read and I like to, and even with the content when I'm on social media, and that could be, this is my thing. I know I skipped to think about time, but social media takes up a lot of people's time. It does. And I have a problem if I see a woman using her social media to look at gossip pages and stuff that has no value, no substance that can help us grow. What are we doing? You watching, you're entertainment. And I'm not knocking that, because again, I have been in conversations where talk about some entertainment or some stuff make me giggle, laugh, or whatever, make you think. But for the most part, if you totally consuming that, it's like you eat McDonald's all the time. How you gonna prevent yourself a long life with me and your body not taking care of, and you got cancers or diabetes because you're eating this stuff? Same thing with your mind. You digesting this toxic behavior, this sexy red and all this stuff all the time. How are we gonna win? How are we gonna win with the ideology? How are we gonna win talking about what's gonna happen on the Housewives of Atlanta and all that? How are we gonna win with that? Unless you show me, hey, this lady on Housewives of Atlanta, she started off with here and she got this business, she bought this guy and then this. We should do that too.
Come on now.
It's a difference.
Go. That's a big difference.
That's gonna, for me, like, so with social media, it's gonna. I need to see what you into, what you watch, what your page, what your timeline, what you looking at, because that's gonna. I've learned in that area that I learned that's gonna affect me and my thing. Because again, they're no different than me. If I'm sitting there talking about watching gang fights all day and people smoke weed and drink all the time and looking at titties and ass all day,
right.
What you think what you think I'm into?
Right.
Titties and ass.
That's it. You know that's it. That's what the
you see my day next. You know, you quite control it down. And you see me heart some super celebrity girl that I know I can't get. I'm having lustful spirits. I can't control myself. There's no discipline. I ain't trying to get no money.
Wow.
I'm gonna come home, get a beer, and look at titties and ass.
Yep. That's it, Larry. He not lying, because that literally is what I put on here with social media. What you post in stories. A lot of times you can gather what that person is and what
you would tell their dating IQ right there. You can tell the person what a person thinks. That's why it matters. You can say what they own by the content they some. Oh, I'm posting. It was in that screenshot. Well, you screenshot. You must agree with that post. Don't tell me that I ain't post that. You liked it. You agreeing to that.
That's right.
You might not have said it, but in your mind, you was like, show enough.
You know seriously, we don't realize just how much like people like to be about self. And a lot of times you give a little bit too much of yourself right there to social media. But it's a great resume
to see where they think at. Because the content do matter.
Ooh, it do.
And perspective matters. So if you're thinking like this, and then that's going to political things. Now we start talking again. Now, where we at, especially if you're dating, in my opinion, you're dating from your mid to late 30s on up. That start matter because again, now what do you believe in? Yes. Because your values can affect our household. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What values do you believe in? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, you might feel like a Democrat, Republican. That can affect your pro abortion, pro-choice.
There's so many different
things that that's where the intelligence comes. Or do you care about the community? Right. Or do you, you know what I'm saying, you worry about the taxes, or do you all these things that has impact your life. And that's why intelligence matters, because if the substance you think, you might not even care. Or even me as a guy, I might just be in the football and basketball all the time. I don't want to talk about no other stuff. But that don't mean I can't learn. But if I don't want to learn, I always say, I'm telling you, shut the hell up, get out of my face. Right. Now you mad because, hey, you trying to show me something, but you keep forcing like you think you want. Yeah. Well, my man, I want my man to be this, and I want him to get into a new trade, but he with that dumbass job. Well, you saw that this is what he was into when you met him. You growing. He ain't growing. And might not have the willingness to grow. Again, go back to what you're going to do.
That's it. You right.
Go stay there. You know what I'm saying? Or you keep hoping that you're gonna grow.
That's right. Or hoping for that change.
Or you gonna keep hoping that your girl don't want to keep going out to the bar and drink because you met. That's where you met her at, and she was hot and sexy then. And you know what I'm saying, y'all. You know what I'm saying, she was going. You know what I'm saying. And that night she came back to the house, and y'all headed off and been together ever since. Yeah. But now you feel like, damn, you talking about, well, why we gotta go out?
Yeah, right.
And she's like, what you mean? That's what I met you at. That's what we was doing.
That's why we went back. That's why we say typically the person ain't gonna change. Typically now.
That's why we've been together for 5 years. She looking at you like you crazy. We've been together 5 years doing this. What you mean? Right. It's like you getting old. You old, nigga. That's what she called. That's what ended up happening.
Yes. I remember. Yep. I remember. Listen, y'all, we got to be smart in this. We got to be able to do the work, find out. And listen to understand. It goes back to what I say versus listen to respond. Listen to understand, because a lot of times people will tell you who they are, what their values and morals and everything is.
More importantly.
You're right. You are very right. And like you said, there's some people that desire to want to change, but they have to have that desire. You can't force it down their throat.
No.
You can't.
What's the old saying? You can't lead a horse to the water.
But you can't make them drink. Right. Come on now. Listen. This is good. I know it's gonna be good, y'all. And so yeah, we pretty much touched on everything. So I mean, Larry, do you have anything additionally that maybe we didn't tap into that you feel is very important when it comes to the dating IQ? Yeah.
Well, I think we touched on, especially that social media part, because I'm glad we didn't forget to touch on that. We didn't talk about that.
We didn't. Nope, we didn't. But it was in my face journal, y'all.
That is because that's where you can really that's a pivotal point. We in the information age, and a lot of people sometimes don't know how to communicate once more. I think communication That's where the dating IQ matters, because how we communicate. How do we affect it? Do we communicate to, like you said, do we just over to understand, or do we communicate just to defend ourselves, or just to talk somebody, or we want to have our point of view? And that's where IQ comes matter, because again, a good IQ understand that you need a voice, I need a voice, and how do we match that voice? And I can't be defensive. I got to be a way to get the understanding, so therefore I can use that information to process it for a better me and a better understanding, even if I disagree or disagree. I mean, if I agree or disagree.
That's right.
So, like she said about the social media, when a person doesn't want to communicate, that's the way they communicate. We are in an age of social media and content, and the content may be a representative of what we speak and think. We might not wrote it ourselves, but if I'm posting let's say some mean these niggas for the streets. If I got like a woman, she's posting these niggas for the streets, this type of content of urban foolery, I want to call it, with women, like they saying all this, this kind of ghetto stuff. You expect to get a ghetto chick. That's how she thinks. She's showing you what she into.
That's right.
I'm saying you can't expect to turn make a turn a plumber to a carpenter.
That's right. That's right.
They gotta want to be a carpenter. That desire. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that. Watch the content, watch what they thinking, watch what they tweeting, watch what they liking, watch what they reposting, what they showing out. They, they showing, because you'll see growth. And then with the resume.
That's resume.
You can look at somebody's page and see from year to year what they've been doing.
Can you see the growth and elevation
in your page? Because they go, it's there. We know it's there.
Sometimes we just don't. We don't take the time to really look and do that research to really see. So
that's I think that's how it was a good way to think. And I know you touched on education and profession, but I think that's,
or even skill set, because school ain't for everybody.
I think that could be part of the most. It's a clear cut, out front tale of a person, but it doesn't make a person, because
it doesn't.
You don't know. If you don't know better, you can't do better. That's why we can put our two heads together and figure out, hey, well, we ain't excelling at this job. We're going to work this job and take the money and try to go something over here.
That part.
So that we could be better. Because I didn't know that. I wasn't thinking about starting my own digital products or you know what I'm saying? Or I wasn't thinking about getting into retail or selling clothes or commercial cleaning or whatever the case may be, the medical field. We want to use our tools to want more, so therefore that we could get more by putting our heads together. So the job part and the education part don't really mean so much.
It doesn't.
Because we can use that, as we honest with it, like you said, we can come to the table and say, hey, this is all I know. This is what you know what. If I'm willing to work, and I see this where ego got to be put out the window. Ego got to put out the window. Put your pride aside. My baby, she has more knowledgeable. She went to school more than me. I'm gonna let you lie down. Take me as a man. I can't leave my house because I listen to her thoughts and her education value. I value her education. She's a strong student right there. So with that, I'm gonna follow her instructions and her lead. And with the faith of God, I'm gonna put into action as be a man, still make what she's telling me work. And I'm still able to lead and to protect and provide for my family.
All right. I love how you kind of tied in a lot of what we said and just, articulate that very well into that scenario. And that's absolutely right. Like I said, the skill set, what can we bring to each other? How can we better one another, where that might not be, the woman's strong suit. Mine might be finances, but yours is, you got the business down packed. But, that might have been the piece that you were missing was the financial part, to better manage the money that you make in business on. Mine might be, I'd be able to, so you help each other out. You could be teaching me about business that I didn't even know, and it could spark an idea of, I want to start this business. You know what I mean? So helping one another, growing one another, changing.
Or you might be, as a man, for a woman, we don't want to keep being. Those are great values, but I want to go back to how some women think. I'm gonna make it small and easy for some men that don't understand that these things that we talk about bring to the table, bring to the table, is as valuable. If the way I eat and think can make it better me when I go out in this field, we in life, we trying to survive. So I go out this every day trying to provide and protect for my family.
Right.
So if she's nourishing the body, her intellect about how to feed the body and what to eat, what not to eat, and she chooses to buy the groceries in the house and feeds me, that nourishes me to go out here and fight the war I'm fighting as a black man. For sure, that is just as important. That's bringing something to the table. Because again, without her, I'm eating rallies. I'm gonna go. I mean, rallies, you know what I'm saying? All that bull crap in the streets. That's not fulfilling my body. That's not having me to think right.
That's good.
So that got back to the intelligence. It ain't just about
The
finances. No, which was a player position. But I'm saying you go when it's talking about growth and adding on and building. We're talking about, like you said, the table. Yeah. We're taking the best of our abilities and putting that gumbo and helping one supersede where they are lack at.
Okay,
and
I like that.
And food, which is high as heck right now, can be a situation where nourishment allows me to, that's an underrated aspect of learning. If I'm sitting there knowing how to heal ourselves, and I'm researching, saying you're doing researching on some holistic ways to keep our just keep us in shape, that gives us a long longevity in life, and you're able to dominate or perform at a high level because I'm feeding you the right thing.
Yeah, that's good.
You happy? You come home, you sleep in the bed. You happy? You feel good? You ready to go? You ready to go take on the world?
Yeah.
So just like economics, that does matter.
Yeah.
But we could build on that. But we gotta also look at the small things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the IQ gonna let you know the small things matters, because that small thing can build to monumental things when you build on top of things. So you gotta look at some of the things that what does it add on? What makes me better? Yeah. If I was a single man and I wasn't eating right, and she came into the table and fed me right and showed me how to eat right, that adds value.
Yes, it does.
And that's something so minute. Even she might not even buy the groceries. You might even buy the groceries, but she's telling you what to buy, how to buy, and prepare it a certain way where you can be efficient in your daily task.
Wow. Okay, Larry, I like how you switched it up and gave. That's a very good point. And that's great, to be able to kind of break down what we're saying, that value, it can come in all sorts of ways. And the end all goal is that it betters you individually and collectively as a unit. So that's good. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, well, love it. And I hope this was a blessing for you. Again, we just have learned through, trial and error, through experiences, and just realizing what it is that we are looking for as we intentionally are dating out here to find the person that is going to be best suited for us. And by these, tips and helpful advice, that it should be the same for you as well. So if you haven't already, please take the 2 seconds it takes to click that subscribe button. That's right there. Join in on more, great topics that, again, is just going to give us that overall positive change that we all need to make this world a much better place. And Larry, I just appreciate you so much for just, giving us your expertise, deep diving on this topic. Me and him, we're trying to figure out what's going to be good, and he came up with this idea to me, y'all, and I was like, yes, we run it with this. I like that.
I appreciate it. So
this is a phenomenal topic. I know that it's going to bless so many people out there that are watching. Share, comment, like I said, let us know that y'all heard us. Is there something that maybe we did forget or you want to add to it? Let's be a community. Let's all grow and change together. So again, I love you guys very much. And until next time, let's make a change.